Hi boys and girls, I'm Bob Weide and this is Trailers from Hell. The early 1970s was a great time to be a movie-loving adolescent because that was the golden age of disaster movies. And there are few genres more suitable for 13-year-olds than disaster movies. I didn't want to see people emoting or kissing. I wanted to see things blow up. And no one made things blow up better than producer Irwin Allen, the master of disaster. He even produced some of my favorite television when I was a kid. The Time Tunnel, Lost in Space, Land of the Giants. But in 1972, he hit pay dirt with the hugely successful The Poseidon Adventure. He repeated the same explosive formula with equal success 2 years later with The Towering Inferno. Then he kind of ran out of gas, but it was fun while it lasted. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Here's this 13-year-old kid's idea of a good time, The Poseidon Adventure. Some might say, they don't make them like that anymore. Others might say, yeah, thank goodness. And looking back through a modern lens, it's easy to knock such a silly popcorn movie like The Poseidon Adventure, but in fact, it's really well done, especially when you consider that this film long predates CGI, so all the special effects you see are practical, executed in camera. It's quite an accomplishment and won an Oscar for visual effects. Should I mention the plot? On New Year's Eve, a giant rogue tidal wave broadsides a luxury liner on its final voyage, causing it to literally turn upside down, which, as you can imagine, musses up a few tuxedos. A lot of people are killed right away, but a handful of survivors, led by Gene Hackman, a priest who has lost his faith, try to reach the top of the ship, which is now the bottom, in hopes of escape. That's all you need to know, except that things blow up real good. The actual moment of impact, where the ship turns over, is worth the price of admission.
That's the way out. That's our only chance.
Don't listen to him! We've got to stay here till help arrives.
Help from where? From the captain?
The other thing that you're paying for here is the all-star cast, which besides Hackman includes Ernest Borgnine, Red Buttons, Roddy McDowall, Stella Stevens, Pamela Sue Martin, Jack Albertson, and Shelley Winters, who was especially good and was Oscar nominated for her role. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but when I watched the film recently, the scenes between Winters and Jack Albertson actually choked me up a little bit. But you didn't hear that from me. Oh, Leslie Nielsen plays the ship's captain. This was before he hit pay dirt by satirizing these very kinds of roles in movies like Airplane and Naked Gun. So if you're waiting for him to say, "And don't call me Shirley," you're going to be disappointed. I do find it kind of funny that to enhance her mobility through all the turmoil, Stella Stevens has to lose her dress, and Pamela Sue Martin and Carol Lindley are in short shorts, but let's face it, you've got to sell some tickets, right? However, Shelley Winters is allowed to keep all of her clothes on. After almost 50 years, I really shouldn't have to say spoiler alert before telling you that even a lot of the film's stars don't make it to the end. But you can still play the game of who will and who won't. And there are a lot of arguments about the proper course of action for escape, but I wouldn't bet against Gene Hackman in any role. Should I mention the score is by John Williams? You've heard of him. The screenplay is by Sterling Siliphant and Wendell Mays. And the director is Ronald Neame, who helmed a number of well-regarded movies. But make no mistake, this is an Irwin Allen production, for better or worse. So if you like seeing movie stars holding their breath underwater, and you like watching stuff blow up real good, check out The Poseidon Adventure. You don't have to be 13 to love it, but it doesn't hurt.